So we know that in Kubernetes, our applications can pretty much heal themselves. It's amazing. But what happens when the system itself breaks? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain and meet the unseen guardians who keep the whole platform running, the cluster administrators. And I mean, really think about that. An entire machine just gone. All the pods, all the applications that were happily running on it 1 second, are just offline the next. What now? Who's the one that steps in when the automation faces a problem so big it just can't solve it on its own? In our last few explainers, we really dug into the magic of Kubernetes' self-healing powers. A pod fails, no problem, a new one spins up. The whole thing is designed for this incredible resilience, but here's the catch. That resilience is really just for the application level. And that right there is the crucial difference. The very platform that automates all of our applications, well, it can't automate itself. It needs a totally different kind of management. And this is where the cluster administrator comes in. These are the human operators who are responsible for the entire environment. See, their job isn't to just use the platform. Their job is to make sure a healthy, stable platform exists in the first place. So, let's get specific. Where exactly does all that amazing automated self-healing stop? And where does the administrator's job really begin? Okay, let's go right back to that nightmare scenario. An entire worker node just crashes. What does Kubernetes actually do? Well, the control plane is always listening for this little heartbeat signal from every single node. And when that signal suddenly goes silent, a part of the system called the node controller just springs into action. It marks the node as unhealthy, and after a little waiting period, it officially kicks off all the pods that used to live there. So now, the scheduler sees all these, well, essentially homeless pods. It immediately finds them new, healthy nodes to live on, and just like that, the application is back online. It's brilliant, and no human had to lift a finger. And this is the million-dollar question. The automation is great, but what happens if there are no healthy nodes but enough space? And what about that broken node? Kubernetes can't call tech support or order a new server. This is exactly where automation hits a wall. This is the administrator's world, the actual infrastructure. They're the ones watching the health of the machines, planning ahead to make sure there's always enough capacity for failures, and managing the whole lifecycle of these nodes, adding new ones and carefully retiring the old ones. Which brings us to a much bigger point. See, clusters are not static things. They are living, breathing systems that grow, change, and have to be maintained all the time. Think about it. Kubernetes is constantly evolving. New versions come out all the time with super important security fixes, new features, and all sorts of improvements. You just can't run an old version in a real-world production system. It's not an option. So this is one of an administrator's most nerve-wracking jobs. How in the world do you upgrade a massive live system without taking everything offline? It's kind of like trying to change the engine on an airplane while it's still in the air. Well, the answer is this carefully choreographed dance called a rolling upgrade. First, the admin upgrades the brains of the cluster, the control plane. Then they go node by node. They cordon a node, which basically tells the scheduler, hey, don't put any new pods here. Then they drain it, safely moving all its current pods somewhere else. Only then, when the node is totally empty, can they upgrade it. Once it's back, they uncordon it and move on to the very next node, repeating this delicate process over and over and over again. So you're starting to see a really clear line being drawn here, right? You've got the developer, who's focused on their app, and then you have the administrator, who's focused on the entire platform. Let's break it down. A developer, their world is the application, shipping code, configuring how their workload behaves. The administrator, their world is the whole platform. They have to make sure the API server is always up, that security policies are enforced across the board, and that the entire environment is stable for every single developer. And this, right here, is probably the most important insight of all. People sometimes think automation is about replacing people, but in this world, that couldn't be more wrong. The administrator isn't being replaced by Kubernetes, they're the ones wielding it. Automation isn't the manager, it's just the admin's most powerful tool. All right, so let's put this all together. What does it really mean to be a cluster administrator? What's the job? Well, they manage the entire cluster lifecycle, from the day it's born to all of its upgrades. They're the ones watching over the health of all the machines, planning for growth, and setting up the fundamental rules for security, networking, and storage that every single application relies on. At the end of the day, their one true job is to be the guardian of the platform. They create and protect the stable ground that lets developers build and deploy their applications with total confidence. And that's why this is all so important. Seriously, the next time you're using some modern app that just works, remember that seamless experience is built on the careful and often totally invisible work of a cluster administrator running Kubernetes somewhere in the background. So we've seen the whole picture now, from the incredible automation of the control plane to the human administrator who keeps it all going. Now that we get the platform, it's time to build on it.